Hi everyone, it's Wanda with the Armchair Cat Advocate, and I want to talk a little bit about the avian flu, the bird flu. Um, some of you may know because I've talked about this briefly, but about 2 weeks ago, maybe I think roughly, I was able to sit in on a 3-hour workshop through Maddie's fund called Kitten Camp or Camp Kitten. I don't know, whichever. But it was a whole presentation about kittens, fostering kittens. And because kitten season's, rapidly upon us. And there were several presenters there that gave very good information. And one of them is Dr. Julie Levy. So Dr. Julie Levy, I know you've heard me talk about Dr. Levy before. I need to send Dr. Levy an email and see if I get any response because I would love to talk to her and maybe have her on, actually have her on the show, on the channel as a guest. But Dr. Levy has done a lot of research into the feline leukemia, FELV. She has also done a lot of research with colony cats, and she started a program she's in, let me see what this is. I just looked it up here for everyone because they gave us a link today. It is the Shelter Medicine Program, College of Veterinary Medicine at the University of Florida. So that's where she's located. And they did a whole program. I think it's called Project Catnip, but it was basically this huge TNR effort. And so she's very much, she does a lot of research on TNR, colony cats, feline leukemia. She's very well respected, apparently. She's kind of new to me, but I get the gist that she's very well respected and very well liked within the community. And actually, she was, I found out about her through the woman who initially emailed me about feline leukemia and sent me some really great resources. And through those resources, I found Dr. Levy. So again, thank you. I don't know if that person's still on this channel or not, but, thank you. And haven't forgotten, I haven't forgotten about feline leukemia or any other of the special needs. And we're going to do more about that in the future. We'll do more commentary about, special needs cats and how we can help. So anyway, Dr. Levy was on the original, did the presentation. She did a presentation in the original 3-hour workshop. And then yesterday, they followed that up with a panel discussion. So they had 4 presenters from the original presentation, Dr. Levy included, and they just did Q&A. So the Q&A was people either had already submitted questions or they submitted them in the Q&A box as the presentation was going on. So it really wasn't, you couldn't unmute yourself and actually ask a question and talk to them, I like those the best. Today, they're going to do that with the Human Animal Support Services. HAAS is going to have their office hours, and I love those office hours because you actually can talk to the people that do the presentation. So anyway, but Dr. Levy today, one of the questions that Dr. Levy had was, should shelters be checking for influenza when cats come in? And she said yes. And she went on to talk a little bit about the bird flu. And I believe, I should have checked this before I did this video, but I do think I have a video up in the community tab where I think I have a link to the Maddie's Fund, because they did a dedicated presentation on bird flu with Dr. Levy and I forget, it was another vet. But the 2 vets, I think they work together. I don't don't remember where the other one's from, or at least they collab. So I think that's on the community tab. I'll have to check. If it's not there, I'll put it back up. Maybe I'll even put a link on this video. That might work better for people if everything's in one place. Also, there's information, and I wanted to show everyone this because this is a great resource. So if you look on their website, it is the University of Florida Shelter Medicine Program, College of Veterinary Medicine, and they have a whole, my tablet here, I don't know if you can see that, but they have all this information about bird flu, the newest research. Here they have, well, this is interesting. Growing threat to cats from avian influenza, online sessions to help conquer the challenges of kitten season, 2024 national shelter data, H5N1 avian influenza resources for shelters, rescues, and access to care clinics. Let's just click on this and see what comes up. Okay, so you get a whole bunch of information. Dr. Levy said that they update almost daily. They're always changing, updating. And it's a challenge because, as you know, as I talked about in a video yesterday that I put out about the way the current administration and policies coming out of the current administration are going to impact your pets, whether you want to accept that or not. It's going to impact your pets eventually. It may not right now, but if this continues, there will be impacts. And one of the impacts will be bird flu, because there have been veterinarians fired from, I believe, USDA. I think it was USDA. But these are vets that were doing research into avian flu. So the people that were researching bird flu, that were getting together data on bird flu, recommendations on how to combat the bird flu, they're gone. Or I don't know if all of them are gone, but sounds like quite a few of them are gone. So that's another big issue. And it doesn't just impact humans, it also impacts cats, because more and more cats are getting infected. I also want to mention, I'm going to talk a little bit about what Dr. Levy said in the presentation yesterday. But before I go on, I do want to mention, some of you may have seen on another channel, someone who did a content creator who did basically it was this kind of thing. It was this is about bird flu. I did research on it. Here is my report. So little third grader doing a report in front of the class type of thing. I have real issue with that, because what that person said isn't necessarily factual, especially when they're saying things like, it's something to be concerned about, but not to be alarmed about. No. You need to be alarmed. You need to be alarmed. Maybe in her la la land, you don't have to be alarmed, but I live in reality. And even though right now, I don't think there's been any cases in the north, or at least cases that they know of. I think that's what Dr. Levy said. She said it's primarily in the west right now, but it's transmitted by birds that fly, wild birds that fly. You can't control where they go, and birds migrate. So let's talk a little bit about what Dr. Levy said. So first thing, and some of this is actually scary. I don't know if it's on here or not. You can look it up. There's a lot of information here. Obviously, I'm not going to go through all this here. This is kind of like, this would be a live stream where this would be one of, Research with Wanda live stream where we would look at this together. And we can do this if people are interested in that. We can definitely do a Research with Wanda, and we can delve more deeper into this. But this is really nice. They have a frequently asked questions here. I'll read some of these to you. This is, and this is, I cannot. Okay, USDA, that's the one. I was just looking at it a minute. Okay. Okay. We can talk about that. I just read something. That helps put together pieces of, not a puzzle, but bits and pieces that Dr. Levy talked about yesterday. But I can't impress on people enough. Get your information from credible sources. I'm not a vet. I'm not a vet tech. I do not pretend to be a vet or a vet tech. Never have, never will. I research things. I feel like I'm pretty good at researching. I've done it a long time. I was the nerdy geek that loved to write term papers and loved doing research. And so I learned how to research, but I'm not, I'm not educated in those fields. So I don't know all of these things. I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm not a virologist. I'm not any of those things. I'm not a doctor specializing in infectious disease. I'm not that. So you really want to be careful who you get your information from, especially now, because there is a lot of misinformation out there. A lot. And so be very careful where you get your information. Make sure you get it from reputable sources. If you see somebody, I'm going to tell you about bird flu. I have my report right here. If you see somebody doing that, you probably don't want to listen to them, because who knows where they're getting their information from. And if they are getting it from a reputable source, how old is that information? It needs to be current, needs to be relevant, needs to be credible. So just be careful where you get your information. This is very much up to date. So I'm just going to go through a couple of these things. Okay, so see, how is bird flu spread? H5N1 flu virus is shed in saliva, nasal secretions, feces, urine, and milk, dairy cattle. Which I didn't know that cows are getting this. I didn't know that. Direct contact with infected animals or environments contaminated by infected animals. Can cats be infected by H5N1 avian flu virus? Cats are very susceptible to H5N1 infection. This includes domestic cats, exotic species, tigers, lions, leopards, others, and wild species, mountain lions, bobcats. First documented in 14 cats fed raw chickens infected with H5N1 virus, followed by thousands of cats in Asia and Europe, and a dramatic spike in cat infections globally since 2023. First domestic cat infections in the U.S. detected in 2022 and 2023 in outdoor cats in Montana, Nebraska, Oregon, South Dakota, and Wyoming, and more than 100 infected cats from January 2024 to January 2025 in 16 states. Most cats had access to infected poultry and dairy farms or contaminated meat and dairy products. Can cats be infected through their diet? Fatal and severe infections have been reported in cats fed raw milk and raw meat from both commercial and non-commercial sources. Freeze drying, let's say that again, freeze drying does not kill the H5N1 virus. So freeze dry. So you have freeze dried food. Please be careful. Keep an eye out for recalls. There are lots of recalls right now. Be very, very, very careful. I have a whole bag of Stella and Chewy. I'm not giving it to Fury at this point. I'm not going to throw it out, but I'm not going to give it to him until I see that, I don't, as long as I don't see any recalls, or once it goes past a certain time period, you're pretty safe. But I just, until I know more, he's not getting any more freeze-dried Stella and Chewy. He's just going to get his wet food. They're not getting raw chicken anymore. Nobody is getting, I used to give them raw chicken legs for a snack from time to time, for a treat from time to time. I'm not doing that. Everything is going to be cooked. Everything's going to be cooked or canned. I mean, I like to mix fresh food in with the processed food, but right now I want to be safe. So let me read this again. Freeze drying does not kill the H5N1 virus. High pressure processing / pasteurization may reduce but not entirely eliminate risk. H5N1 does not survive cooking or heat pasteurization. Regularly check the FDA's list and your state's list of recalled foods. So I'm going to put a link to this website for the University of Florida, so everyone you can go through. There is tons and tons and tons of information. Like I said, they check daily, they update daily. They're always looking for more information and changing information as they get more in. Here, what should community cat management and trap neuter return programs do? Move feeding stations away from bodies of water where wild birds may congregate. Feed in a way that does not attract multiple domestic and wild species to feed together. Monitor for cats showing respiratory and neurological signs. Wear full PP personal protective equipment when caring for sick or exposed cats. It will get everywhere. Dr. Levy did say that. I'm gonna kind of go through exactly what she said in a minute. Continue TNR programs for healthy cats. Screen cats signed up for spay-neuter clinics by asking about risk factors and handle at-risk cats at the end of the day. So this is okay. So this is just really right now. It's more prevalent in the West. I don't know about the South. She did say, I don't think, at least in that presentation from 2 weeks ago or so, I think she said there haven't been any cases in the North, or they haven't had any cases actually documented in them. I mean, there may have been cases that haven't been documented. So let's go through a little bit of what Dr. Levy said. So basically what Dr. Levy said was, first of all, if you see, I'm going to just start with like her end because I think it's important. She said, if you see a cat, if your cat is sick, okay, if your cat is sick, if it's showing neurological distress, if it's, wobbly, shaky, it can become blind, anything, you see anything like that going on, call your vet, tell them the symptoms, and you can say, I don't know if this is bird flu or not. Because that way the vet can take precautions, because obviously the vet doesn't want to bring a cat into his or her office that may or may not have bird flu and then risk everybody getting infected, because it gets everywhere. Dr. Levy said, like if I was handling an outdoor cat that had it and it would get all over me, I could bring it in here and I could infect everybody in this household. So you want to use that PPE, and you want to use it. You want to use it, take it off, put another PPE if you're doing that. Of course, that probably doesn't apply to most people watching this, but that's the way they would handle it in a clinical setting. So that's the first thing, is it presents, she said it presents a lot like rabies. So the symptoms of rabies, that's basically what you're going to see with symptoms coming from bird flu. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing. The second thing is, and this is what I was shocked by, because I didn't know this. She said they have found, she said it rapidly kills cats. They had an instance where they had a dairy farm. Also had poultry, I guess. I don't know if they have poultry or not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Somehow the cows contracted avian flu. Now, I didn't know cows could get avian flu, but they can. And she said that the cows didn't really get sick from it, but the barn cats got sick because they would drink the milk. You know, the farmers would give them milk from the cows. And as I just said, you know, it can be in the saliva. And I mean, if you have a cow that's sneezing or whatever, I mean, cats are wandering around, they could potentially get infected. And the cats were dying off at a rapid pace. Like within 2-3 days, they were gone. And they tracked it to that. So don't feed your cat milk products. You definitely don't do that. Don't feed them raw poultry. So basically, it's coming from poultry that is being raised for food, birds, just wild birds, and also waterfowl. So if you have a colony that's maybe near a pond, or you have, like in the city here, we have a park that has a pond, and we have swans and geese and ducks and other waterfowl that come and go. So if you're feeding a colony in an area like that, take extra precautions. I know some of us, and I'm including myself here, I'm very limited where I can feed and what kind of precautions I can take. I generally feed at night. Don't feed during the day. And honestly, the only thing that I've ever seen at the feeding station beside the cats have been possums. And so far, I don't think possums are contracting the bird flu. Possums really don't have any kind, other than fleas. They really don't have any kind of diseases that they can pass on to cats. So possums are pretty safe. I'm not worried about possums. I'm not around cows and I'm not around chickens, so I'm not worried about that. We do have birds. We do have, wild birds. We have starlings and we have sparrows, and the cats do catch them. They are not native species. They are invasive species. And they do come down. The starlings will come and eat the cat food, and it's an issue trying to stop them. It's really hard. I would almost have to have like a covered, like a catio or something that only the cats could come into, but I don't have that luxury. So, do the best that you can. But since I'm in the north, it seems like we're not high risk at this moment, whereas the western states, and I know we have somebody from Wyoming who's very active on the channel, so, she may want to look into that, may want to check that information out. So that was a little bit about Dr. Levy talked about that. She talked about, basically what the information that's on there is basically what she covered. And, they're continuing. And the one thing that she did say is it's scary. She's a vet and she's scared. So that person that's being very nonchalant and it's something to be concerned about, but you don't have to be alarmed. Yeah, you do have to be alarmed. You do. You have to be alarmed. And it is very irresponsible of that person to present important information like it's, you know, it's like, be careful when you handle a wet glass. You might break it and cut your finger. So it's something to be mindful of when you're washing your glass in the sink, but you don't have to be alarmed. No, you do. This is serious. The concern is that right now, and I just saw it on here. Let me read this to everyone. Let me pull this back up. Where did I see it here? I just saw it here. Where is it? Oh, okay. Here, webinar slides. Is this it? Oh, okay, let's not do that. They have the webinar slides here. Insights from Dr. Julie Levy and Dr. Cinda Crawford. That was the other vet that was on that presentation from Maddie's Fund. This was their February 11th. Wow, was that long ago? I didn't feel like it was that long ago. February 11th, 2025, Maddie's Fund webinar discussing H5N1's impact on feline health and shelter operations. Oh, and they have watched the webinar recording on demand. They have it here. So I'm just going to, what I'll do is I will just put this in the community tab, and then I think I can put it in the description too. I'll see if I can put it in the description as well, because sometimes YouTube's weird and it won't. You can put a link, but the link won't become active. I have no idea what that's about or how to fix it, but I will try. But there was something else here where they talked about. Here it is. Okay. So they have a map by the USDA, and this is, she talked about this. She talked about the map. So a map by USDA reporting detections of highly pathogenic avian influenza in mammals reports cases as they are confirmed. The document states, cats as well as other scavenging or carnivorous species are typically dead-end hosts for this avian influenza virus, meaning that, with rare exceptions such as transmission among family groups or where they roost together, they are not significantly involved in onward transmission. Due to the increased interest in cats associated with the dairy event, we are including all known positive influenza AH5N1 detections in the domestic cat species prior to March 1, 2024. So, as it is now, and here's the concern, and this is why, if you watch the video that I put out yesterday about why as people who share our lives with companion animals, specifically companion cats, we should be concerned about politics right now. We need to get politicatal. So we need to be concerned about politicats. The reason that I made that point about the firings of the folks that are researching avian influenza is because, as of now, cats are not transmitting it to people. That could change. If the virus mutates, it can jump species. zoonic or zoonic. I think it's zoonic, which means animal to people, people to animal. Right now, cats you can't catch the bird flu from a cat. But if it gets all over you, it's just like Jack with his respiratory infection. If he got, if he sneezed on me and then I picked up a kitten and was holding it, well, now I'm sticking the kitten in all of the germs. So that's how that works. But right now, we don't have an issue with cats transmitting to humans. So, again, that could change. And we're not getting the research that we need. This could really... I hate to say this, but I'm very concerned that this could become another 2020 situation. Because everything I'm reading... and you can see as let me see, I wonder if they have the map here. I don't know if they have the map here in this or not. Now you can check, again, regularly check the FDA's list and your state's list for recalled food so you can get information on pet foods or cat foods that have been recalled due to bird flu. There's a lot of good information on here. And I will definitely make sure I don't see... no, that's just the FDA. Yeah, they don't seem to have a link. Well, let me see if this comes up. What is this? No, this just no, here it is. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So this is it does, if you click on, they do have a link there for you. So you can go from the University of Florida's website to the USDA's website, and then this will come up for you. And you can see there's the map. Let me pull this up here a little bit. Detections of HPA1. That's highly pathogenic avian influenza is what that stands for. So HPAI. HPAI, not artificial intelligence, but avian influenza. So HPAI is highly pathogenic avian influenza. And then here you can see what I'm looking. No, let me see. Can you click on it? No, it won't work. But let me see if I can blow this up. Okay. It looks like in Pennsylvania, well, there's one domestic cat. Looks like there's a domestic, they have little, well, that's kind of on the border. But you can see, let me see here. Here's Pennsylvania right there. And you can see, so you see we're not, and there's that little black there. I don't know what it all means. It just says wild canine. And then the little black square says domestic cat. So I'm not sure, and it looks like it's kind of on the border. So anyway, but again, up here, that's Pennsylvania. Right there. Right there. So you have, let me pull the whole map out here for you guys. That's what it looks like. Get that glare off of there for you. That's what it looks like. So you can navigate from the University of Florida's vet college or shelter medicine. Let me see if I can go back here. Yeah. It's Shelter Medicine Vet Med. Um, so you can navigate from the University of Florida Shelter Medicine Program to the USDA map. So, and then the FDA is the one where you want to look for recalled. And I think they have do they have a link for that too? Yes, they do. Okay. So there's the FDA. There's the FDA page. So that's what that looks like. So if you go to the Shelter Medicine, the University of Florida Shelter Medicine Program page, you can navigate to the USDA, you can navigate to the FDA, and other research and or other research and other research articles and other articles. That's a mouthful. Um, so I just wanted to kind of come on here and give everybody that information because as so many people, if you're not just have your indoor companion cat, people do let their cats outside. People also take care of colonies. Some people have barn cats. So, we run the gamut here of cat ownership or, cat partnership, I guess, because we really don't own them now, do we? It's not even really. So how about cat slavery? cat cat servitude. Maybe that's a better term. We run the gamut of cat servitude here. So if you want to protect your beloved companions, that's a good resource. So I'm gonna put that in this video somewhere, hopefully. Maybe I can. No, I don't know how to do that. I was trying to think if maybe I could link it in the video somehow, but no, I don't know. I'll just see if I can put it in the description and I'll put it on the community tab. One of those should work. Like I said, YouTube, I've had mixed results. Sometimes when I try to put links up, YouTube gets weird because with links, sometimes the AI looks at it as spam or, I don't know, telemarketing or something that they, or not telemarketing, but you know what I mean, like some kind of a scam business thing or something that they're trying. The AI is like, yeah, you're not going to put that up there because you're trying to sell some kind of scheme. But very good information from Dr. Julie Levy. Good information for Maddie's Fund. I would highly recommend them as well. And just keep up to date on it. I'll try to keep things up to date as I see them or as I hear them. I attend a lot of these webinars and I'm always trying to learn more. And I will try to contact Dr. Levy and see if possibly she would be willing to come on the channel and talk to us about not just that, but also the feline leukemia and other things that she's involved with, because she is involved with Project Catnip. I don't know if that's on here or not. Let me see if it is. I'm just curious to see if the Project Catnip's on here. Let me see. Let me search it. Yeah, Operation Catnip. Yeah, they have it in here. Operation Catnip. Operation Catnip Community Cat Management Summer Fellowships for veterinary students. So that was 2023. But they've done a lot of really cool things, and it's just interesting to read about them. So I'm going to end it there. I can't believe Aurora didn't scream through this. She was, as I was starting the video, she was in here screaming because I did have him out. I had him out for a while. I got up to, it's very early here. It's just 6 o'clock now. And I've been up since about 2, taking care of cats. So, I let them out. They were out for like 2 hours running around, and they were just making a lot of noise and banging against the wall, and I don't want to disturb my neighbor, so I put them back in, and then they screamed at me. Now they finally settled down. I gave them a bowl of dry food to munch on. That kind of calmed them down. And Jack, he ate most of his food. He's sleeping now too. So here, I'll show everybody to you. So here's our buddy Jack. What's up, Jack? Did I disturb you? I'm sorry. Everybody just wants to see Jack, because Jack's such a cool guy. Yeah, Jack got a lot of fans. Jack, you got a lot of fans, Jack. Look at Jack. Look at Jack. He says, I got a lot of fans. Yes, you do, Jack. You got a lot of fans. A lot of people like you. Yes, they do. They like the croaky boy. They like the croaky boy. Yes, they do like the croaky boy. They like him, like him, like him. Yeah, even though he's stinky, stinky, stinky. You want to come out a little bit? You come out. You want to come out a little bit? I don't know. He's looking at his neighbors down here. They make a lot of noise, don't they? He's looking at his neighbors. Hello. Hello. Yeah, you probably should go back in, bud, because you're snuffling a little bit. I don't want you to sneeze on them. That's a good boy. Eat your food. Eat your food. I'll let you come out when they're in the other room. He's a little snuffly. I'm kind of leery of having him sneeze on them right now, because they're going to have to get spayed and neutered, and then we don't want them. They're doing so good. We don't want them to get sick now and put everything back. Yeah, we don't want to slide backwards, do we? We're going forward here. We're getting you guys ready to go to forever homes. Yep. Your next stop, the spay and neuter clinic. We're going to chug along, chug, 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 chug to the spay and neuter clinic. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. We'll get to spay and neuter clinic. Yeah, that's where we're going to go. We're going to take a trip to the spay and neuter clinic. Everybody going to get done. Yeah. And then we're going to go PetSmart. And everybody's going to see you. And then you have to be in another cage. Oh, no. And then more people can be mad at me because I have you in a cage. Well, they can be mad at Feline Solutions then, because Feline Solutions will put you in. They'll go complain to Feline Solutions about having you in a cage. So here's what you guys do. You just look really, really sad. Like, no, that's not a sad face. You gotta have a really sad face. Like, I'm in a cage and I don't have anybody to love me. Please adopt me. And then you'll get homes really fast. Maybe somebody will take all 4 of you. Wouldn't that be great? There's my Miss Maleficent. 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 Okay, everyone. Okay, everyone. I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching. I will make sure to link up all that additional information for you. We will see you in the next one. So goodbye for meow.